Welcome back to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett, and we're back to look at Wave 5 of Wizkids Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing. For those that don't know about the game, Attack Wing is a miniature game where you take, figures like these, you build an army, and you battle out against your opponents. It's based off of Dungeons & Dragons, the popular role-playing game that's seeing a massive resurgence from Wizards of the Coast. The game has been out for a few months now. Wave 5 is the latest release that features these three different figures: the young bronze dragon, the drow elf ranger, and the red dracolic. So each wave is usually about 3 releases, as you can kind of see. They've been pretty consistent in that. What I'm going to do is open up each release to kind of show them off and see what you get, starting with the young bronze dragon. So overall, I haven't done the predictions I've made for these 3 figures release. I haven't been all that top notch. I didn't really have much to say. I will say the young bronze dragon, if there's already a bronze dragon release that you could get through month 3 of organized play, which is probably going on stores right about now or just wrapped up. So I'm expecting a very similar figure in that, or addition to the game, but maybe just a bit weaker. We're going to kind of compare those two when kind of going over everything. So the young bronze dragon, when you're the son of the most respected bronze dragon in Faerun, you need to prove yourself more than most dragons. Irid, the bronze dragon, may be young, but he's full of determination, courage, and more than his fair share of adventurous spirit. He even taught himself how to hover in midair, an impressive feat for a dragon, and talent he often uses to surprise his enemies before unleashing a burst of lightning breath. When the older dragons are unable to breach the adamantine doors blocking the way to the Hall of Lumines the Mighty, a secret passage becomes the only way inside. Larger dragons, unable to polymorph down to human size due to an enchantment outside the palace, must wait outside while their minions forge ahead. Fortunately, whatever the hell his name is just small enough to cram himself through the pipe passage, and now he is eager to prove himself to his brethren. But what he finds inside the Hall of Luminos would dismay even the most experienced of dragons. So that's the story for this expansion. So first off, let's actually take a look at the figure itself. It's something I like to do, kind of see how well the sculpt and the painting is for the figures. Throw this to the side. Outside of the package, I'm not super impressed with the sculpt. It's just not. I think the positioning is kind of what kind of gets me. Bronze dragons in general, they collect loot, so I'm thinking maybe we can get some of that. They can control weather. They have lightning breath, repulsion breath for attacks. So I'm expecting maybe some of that, but I'm not quite sure. So definitely Wizkids with this figure has gone with something a little bit different as far as dragons. And what's actually I kind of like is they've got the stand built into the figure, which is really, really nice. So let's compare this to the month 3 dragon that's out there. So these are the two of them together. So this would be the adult and this would be the young one. The kind of twisted body makes me feel like he's doing the twist more than anything else. I'm not super psyched about the sculpt, but it is kind of what it is. And it's something different. There's only so many positions of like a dragon swooping that you can do without it getting kind of tiresome. So I'll at least give him props to try something different. It's nice. It's nice to see him shake things up a little bit. I just literally wish the shaking up wasn't literally looking like them like twisting. Oh, there goes one of my stands. Yeah, not a big deal. I'll pick that up later. Alright, so let's see what you actually get with the figure. So, lightning, repulsion breath, probably expected. Sounds like from the flavor in the back, it has something to do with, we might be able to see something with polymorph. So what's cool is the game, you can play just battles fighting you out, but usually you play scenarios. In each game, or each new figure, they give you this scenario to play out. This is Adventure 7.2, the Hall of Luminos. The Mighty, which is what was described in the back. It's an adventure set for 2 players. There's no special components, 120 points on both sides. All creatures must be on small bases. If players do not own enough creatures on small bases, they may use creatures on large base, but each creature on the large base costs an extra 10 points. The players place their figures in the starting area. So, you get a nice scenario. So let's see here. We've got, clearly to expect some Repulsion Breath. It's interesting, the Shocking Grasp. I can't think that that's something that we've seen before. Oh, both dials fell out. But we've got the usual dials that we can expect for the figures. Alrighty. Onto the cards. The cards are what I think everyone really expects and looks forward to. So big thing, let's first look at the dragon itself. We've got the Bronze Dragon, a young one, and the named character. It's at 3/1/3/1 and 3/2/3/1. Cheap 22 and 30 points. I mean, it's really cheap dragons. It's a young dragon, so not too shocking. Movement is it's not too bad. So comparatively, the adult dragon is 33 points and 43 points. So 11 points and 13 points more than that. For the generic one, that's 4/1/4/2, and then the experienced one is 4/1/5/2. So what's interesting is we get a bit better defense on this named one here than the adult, but basically we're looking at a cheap dragon. The attack isn't all that great. It's only 1 to the front, 2 to the back. The adult's got 2 to the front, 2 to the back. But if you want to add a dragon in and get some of the movement, you can do that for pretty inexpensive points here. Comparatively to, on the movement compared to the adult, the big difference that I'm seeing quickly is the two hard rights are white for the young dragon, red for the adult, but the forward 4 is red for the young dragon and white for the adult. So a little bit more maneuverable, which kind of makes sense for a young dragon, but definitely much weaker as far as being able to kit him up. We've got 2 and 2 for that, so that's pretty much the same. The only thing you lose for the adult is 1 arcane spell, it looks like. You also have attack remove. You can remove a timer from one of your breath weapon upgrades. So the young is able to basically reload its weapon a little bit quicker than the adult. As far as abilities, down here of what actions you can give them, there is Concentrate is missing from both dragons. So basically you're getting just a weaker, cheaper dragon, which is about what I'd expect. So let's see here what else we have. Let's go with some spells first. We got a point, Shocking Grasp, which let's see if this is a new one or not. For 1 point. Yep, it looks like we have a new spell out there. So this one, the affected creature cannot perform any actions. So we've been seeing that a lot more in the game, is affecting other players and stopping them from doing actions. This is kind of cool. Pearl of Power, add 2 upgrades to your creature's upgrade banner, so you can give more spells to the creature for 4 points. Abilities, let's see here. Let's go over the dragon. So Lightning Breath, it's a pretty common one, especially with dragons. So nothing special there, nothing new. We've seen it a few times already. Idealism. For some reason that is sticking in my mind that we've seen this. Well, we haven't. So Idealism's a new thing. When attacking a creature at range 1 in your forward arc, you may disable this upgrade to convert 1 Concentrate into a hit result. It must be Young Bronze Dragon to equip. So we've got helping the attack a little bit. So clearly the Bronze Dragon, you're getting in there and you're attacking, and kind of, that's what we're looking at. We've got Repulsion Breath, which is one we've seen before. Again, each affected creature's primary weapon value is halved whenever they are within range of 1 to 2 to you. This effect ends for any reason, discard this card. So you get in, you do the Repulsion Breath, so they are a little bit weaker against you. Then you can go in with your Idealism and hopefully get some shots in. And then we've got Hover, which I believe is also a new ability for 5. You must be a wormling or a young dragon to equip. If you're in the air and do not have an exhaustion token beside your creature, when you reveal a green maneuver on your maneuver dial, you may disable this upgrade to perform a pivot maneuver instead of your chosen maneuver. If you do so, place a pivot token beside your creature. You receive the normal penalties for choosing a pivot maneuver, and also cannot change altitude for the rest of this round. So actually kind of a cool ability. So you get in there, make your maneuver, maybe see what the other players are doing, disable this, and then you can pivot quickly instead, which kind of makes sense considering the motion of the creature. What's nice is you can be a wormling or a young dragon, so it's not just this figure, this dragon that can use it. There'll be other dragons that can use it as well. Kind of cool. It's a nice way to kind of to screw with your opponents as far as movement and pivoting. Overall, I mean, basically, it's the young bronze dragon is exactly what we're expecting. It's a much more maneuverable bronze dragon, much cheaper in points. It'll be very interesting to see how some folks use it. You know, it's pretty decent. Let's see, compared to some of the other maneuverable figures out there, it's still cheaper than like the Angelic Paladin. It's cheaper than... it's definitely cheaper than Wraiths. And I would say 22 points. It's kind of on par with the Gargoyle. So the basic Gargoyle, we're looking at 3 attack, 0 defense, 5 health, 2 shields. So it's kind of comparable to the Gargoyle Guardian as far as creature and abilities. So interesting addition. I wasn't too keen on the coloring of the adult bronze dragon. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's really subtle as to what they do with this. Again, the subtlety is with this one as well. I will say the one thing I do like about the two figures is this does look like a younger version of the adult. The head sculpt's really, really similar. Again, the thing I just don't like is the body, the twisting of the body. It looks really kind of goofy in my mind. But what you gonna do? We're not gonna win them all. As far as sculpts, there's gonna be some losers here and there. So overall, this was the young bronze dragon for Attack Wing from Wizkids. We're going to go and we're also going to look at the Drow Elf Ranger. We're going to look at the red Dracolic, which just sounds really, really cool as far as the figure. You can go out and play the game now. It's you know, picking up steam, seems to be pretty popular in this neck of the woods. Hopefully it is around here because it's a fantastic game from Wizkids. So this is Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett, and come and check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, of course here on YouTube, all at Graphic Policy. Until next time, keep on rolling those dice and keep it geeky.